What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Hands Off My Hobo Rocket. Today we're doing this live of the Pens game to my left, and you guys is right. You guys won't be able to watch it, sadly. They're playing the Washington Capitals today. Another good Metro rivalry. So we got that on. We'll be talking a bit of live stuff from what I see, how it goes, and then also we'll be talking general hockey in the NHL, and then also the Olympics have been quietly sneaking up upon us. The Olympics start in 5 days, and that's huge because for the first time, I believe women's ice hockey is more popular than men's ice hockey at the Olympics, and I'm extremely excited and proud of that. Because women's ice hockey needs more support, needs more watchers, and this is really the exposure they need. So, without further ado, let's get started with standings in the NHL. So, right now in the Eastern, we got the Metro top three teams are Washington, have 65 points, New Jersey 60, and Pittsburgh 59. Atlantic, they got Tampa with 73, Boston with 68, and Toronto with 65. And then holding the two wildcard spots are Columbus and Philadelphia with 58 and 56 respectively. That being said, another team that is also tied with 56, however, do not have the goal differential necessary to overtake Philadelphia, are the Carolina Hurricanes. After the Hurricanes, kind of in the hunt, I guess, if we're talking NHL style, Rangers and Islanders are a point back, and after that, it just tails off immediately. Florida, Detroit tied with 48, Montreal 46, 41 for Ottawa, and 37 for Buffalo. That's kind of sad. The West is, I think, a bit more competitive, and let's say a bit more competitive. A bit more competitive. I got Winnipeg, Nashville, and St. Louis on top in the Central. Winnipeg 69, nice. Nashville 67, St. Louis 65. The Pacific got the Vegas Golden Knights at 72. I believe they are 1 point behind from the President's Trophy. Currently being led by the Tampa Bay Lightning with 73. After that, you got San Jose with 60, and Anaheim, the Mighty Ducks there at 60. In the wild card, you got Dallas with 62, and Colorado with 60. Colorado just came off a big overtime win versus Edmonton, and they'll be facing Winnipeg next. They'll be facing Winnipeg tomorrow at Winnipeg. So if they can pull off a victory there, they're going to start making more moves to kind of ensuring that wild card spot, and maybe even hopping up into a good playoff spot in the top three in their division. Following that, those in the hunt, Minnesota and Los Angeles tied 59. Calgary 58. They play Chicago tomorrow. Speaking of Chicago, they're at 55. Edmonton 48. They lost against Colorado in overtime. Vancouver and Arizona round up the bottom. Vancouver with 48. Just think of that. Vancouver going full tank and full rebuild are tied with the Connor McDavid-led Edmonton Oilers in points. Yeah, Edmonton has a problem. They have one of the best, if not the best, out there. There's an argument for and against him being the best, but nonetheless, there's an argument, which is pretty cool. But with that, you have a serious problem. If you're not, top three in your division and you have Connor McDavid, you're not doing it right. And then Arizona, once again, full tank, 33 points. They have a minus 57. They don't deserve to win. No, that's wrong. They do deserve to win. They do deserve to win because they're a good team. They're a good bunch of young kids. They're just a bunch of young kids. They need some more veteran presence. And those are the standings. And I believe the Pens game is getting ready to start. Opening face-off is starting up soon. The tips to win obviously are 1, stop Ovechkin. 2, play the whole game, complete it, end to end. And 3 is Ride Those Stars of Evgeny Malkin coming off a hat trick. Sidney Crosby getting ready to, get his 400th goal. Possibly gets it tonight. 3, Matt Murray back in net after an emotional win 2 days ago against San Jose in his first game back. 4, Phil Kessel, all-star snub. 5, Brian Rust coming back from injury. Carter Rowney coming back from injury. And I think the projected lines are kind of important to talk about now because they actually show a bit about what the Penguins are thinking right now. So down the middle you got Crosby, Malkin, Sheahan, and the return of Carter Rowney. Flanking Crosby on both sides is Dominic Simone on the left, and Brian Rust on the right. Flanking Malkin is Hagelin and Hornquist. Got the Swedes there. Next to Sheahan is Gensel and Kessel. So once again, Phil Kessel is creating his own line. And for flanking Carter Rowney is more that checking, grinding line is Tom Kuhnhackl, and making a cut in the roster is Ryan Reeves. So the Pens just entered the offensive zone. Game just started, and Holtby just faced a shot, and he gloves it up. It looks like the Pens are getting some good pressure on defense. Steady as steady could be. You get Dumoulin, Letang top pair, Modon Schultz second pair, and Ian Cole and Jamie Alexiak rounding it up. Matt Hunwick is not playing. I agree with that position. Have Matt Hunwick not play. He's trade bait in my mind. Keep Ian Cole. Yeah, Jamie Alexiak, and he's going to work with Sergei Gonchar and become a great big defenseman. The big rig is going to do his thing. And for the Caps, down the middle, you got Kuzi, Backstrom, Lars Eller, and Jay Beagle. On those sides, you got Ovi flanking Kuzi with Tom Wilson, their expert grinder, and Sidney Crosby head-hitting advocate. Then you got flanking Backstrom is Burakovsky and Oshie. Oshie, once again, not with Ovechkin on the same line. They want to spread their stars to kind of generate, have their top two lines be really two different first lines. Then after that, it really just falls off immediately. Lars Eller he's a good third line center, but he doesn't have third line players behind him. He has fourth line players next to him. He's got Brett Connolly to his right and Chandler Stephenson to his left, and then Jay Beagle, great depth player. He's got Devontae Smith-Pelly to his right and Alex Chiasson to his left. Defensively, this is once again one of the main weaknesses for Washington, and it's got to be top two is Christian Juice, a rookie, and John Carlson, great young defenseman. Matty Niskanen and Dmitry Orlov, second pair. Brooks Orpik bumped down to that third pair. The Pens just scored. Phil Kessel. Brooks Orpik with Madison Bowie. I actually don't know much about Madison Bowie. I haven't really heard of him. Bowie made his NHL debut this season. So yeah, he's a rookie, I believe. He's been playing in Hershey. Interesting. He's been scratched a bit, but looks like he's just trying to crack their lineup. Seventh defenseman guy, young. And then in goal we got Holtby. Obviously, he's a beast. That's why they call him Holt Beast. And the Pens are up 1-0. Not even 3 minutes in. And the Phil Kessel line did it. That third line is really a second line with the first line player, Phil Kessel. The Penguins just have that depth, with which the Capitals don't. And right now their checking line, really their only checking line, which is kind of funny. The Reeves, Rowney, and Kuhnhackl line is out there, and they're maintaining offensive pressure. That's just great to see. And looking at the Kessel goal, that's his 22nd, assisted by Riley Sheahan. People are saying that's not a good move, that Sheahan trade. So I'm actually going to pull up that Riley Sheahan trade and look at what the Penguins gave up and what the Penguins got back. So Shan traded to the Red Wings. Penguins get a 5th-round pick in Riley Shan for Tom Wilson and a 3rd-round pick. No, not Tom Wilson, my bad. Scott Wilson. So, let's look at Scott Wilson now. Scott Wilson is now with the Buffalo Sabres. So I don't think he lasted very long there. Scott Wilson also was the 209th out of 211th draft pick in 2011, and he's a Stanley Cup champ. Not bad. Not bad for the kid. But I believe that Sabres acquired Scott Wilson from Detroit for a 5th-round draft pick in 2019. So it looks like really Detroit got Wilson and just got rid of him after. Wilson he doesn't have a scoring touch. He's got speed, but doesn't have a scoring touch. So he's kind of like a poor man's Carl Hagelin. Didn't crack the roster in Detroit that well, and so he went to the Sabres, and he's been playing there since. Looks like he's found his home in Buffalo. And then let's see, any other big trades happened recently? So Lightning let a goaltender. Pens are on the penalty kill. Not surprising. Jeff Zatkoff gets traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Kings. Kings actually drafted him originally. Arizona gets a player from Columbus, John Ramage. A bigger trade was Chicago gets Anthony Duclair and Adam Clendening from the Yotes for longtime forward Richard Panik and defense Laurent Dauphin. It's a good trade for both sides. Panik's a vet going to Arizona, which is really good, and Dauphin is I think a prospect, which is good. And Chicago gets a player that really needs just to play on a good team, Anthony Duclair. He was drafted by New York, played there, he just wasn't good. Got dropped off to Arizona and their farm. Played in Arizona, just wasn't on the line he needed to be on. And now he's in Chicago. Chicago's rebuilding, but he's got that veteran presence. And Murray makes a big save on Alexander Ovechkin, and the Pens clear the rebound. So what I'm seeing here is this early penalty to the Pens. It was Sidney Crosby with tripping. It's about to end in like 4 seconds. But the Caps couldn't maintain a good constant stream of pressure. And Matt Murray is still up to the task. He's made some good saves, and the Pens have a 3-on-2, going to be 3-on-3, 4-on-3 now, and Hornquist just tosses it to the net, gets the whistle. So those are just the most recent trades in the NHL. But what I really want to talk about today, other than the Pens and Caps, because that's a huge game right now, is women's hockey and the Olympics, because the Olympics have been just like creeping up ever so slowly. So this year's let's talk about men's Olympics right now, because it's not gonna look so good for the United States or for Canada or for any other team that's not named the Russia, really. So first things first, the United States is a bunch of, well, actually, let's start with Canada. Canada's team has two players playing in an NHL system, and that would be defenseman Cody Golubev and forward Christian Thomas. Golubev, or I don't know actually how to say his name, he plays for the Stockton Heat in the AHL. And Thomas plays for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Pens in the AHL. Everybody else is playing overseas in Denmark and Sweden and Switzerland and Russia. Big names they have in net would really just be, they have Ben Scrivens. I believe he's going to be their starting goaltender. And let's see, any other big names? They got Rene Bork playing. They got him. I believe they have Derek Roy. Derek Roy, that's an interesting. He's old. They got Lyndon Vay. He's a former Vancouver Canuck. Andrew Ebbett used to play in the NHL. But really, it's just a bunch of old ex NHLers. They do not have they don't have Shane Doan or Drew McGinley, an elite former NHL player. This is because I believe the NHL decided not to allow NHL players, which is really good for the NHL. I agree with their decision because I want the Olympics to feature other players rather than these super teams, dream teams, because we're gonna get, I believe, this Olympic season we're gonna get something more closer to what happened in 1980, where you get young teams that are kind of going up against a juggernaut, and that juggernaut is Russia. So in Group B, actually, it's the United States and Russia, but Russia has just a lot of good players. So first of all, on defense, they have Alexei Marchenko and Nikita Nesterov, which is pretty good. They also got, I believe, Slava Voinov, former LA King. He's a Stanley Cup winner. Then on forward, they got Pavel Datsuk, Mikhail Grigorenko, and Ilya Kovalchuk, and Shipashev. They got depth on forward and on defense. However, in goal, they don't have their go-to Sergei Bobrovsky, so they're gonna turn to Koshikin, Shestyorkin, or Sorokin. Don't know anything about them. So that's gonna be, I think, their main weakness for Russia. Them in goal, but they have the offense to light up any minor league goalie. That's really who's going to be in net for any other team, especially the United States and Canada. Minor league goalies, and so it's gonna be terrible. The United States, they got Wisniewski on the back end, Sanguinetti also on the back end. That's really all they have. That's actually good on defense. On offense, they got Chris Bork, if anything. David Leggio, he's in the net. Really nobody. Troy Terry, he's still in college. I think Terry's actually a prospect for the Ducks. Yeah, he's a prospect for the Ducks. 5th round, 148 overall. He won the U18 or U21 tourney for the United States in shootout. But that's it. The United States is just, once again, terrible. But they got good coaching. They got Tony Granato as head coach, and assistants. They got Keith Elaine. It's a good coach. Chris Chelios, also a really good coach. Ron Rolston, good coach, and Scott Young. So the United States have good coaches. I forgot. The United States has Brian Gianta. Who knew? So they have one shining light, and that's Gianta. And then the next one I want to talk about is Norway. Not Norway, actually. I think Sweden, more likely. Because Sweden has one of the most up-and-coming, probably the number one draft pick in this draft, playing in the Olympics. Not playing the U18 IHF, or the U21 IHF. No. He's playing in the Olympics. That's Rasmus Dahlin. And the Sweden actually has a good team because they have ex-NHLers, but they also have people that are NHL level that just decided not to play in the NHL. Like, they got, in goal, they got 3 actually, somewhat good goalies. They got Jonas Enroth, Victor Fast, and Magnus Hellberg. So maybe not Magnus Hellberg, but Jonas Enroth used to be a starter way back for Buffalo. They have, on forward, they have Henrik Lundqvist's brother, Joel Lundqvist. Yeah, Henrik Lundqvist is not playing, surprisingly. They got Eric Gustafsson. He was an ex-NHLer, I think. I saw someone here that used to play in the NHL. I'm no, not Carl Klingberg. Par Lindholm is supposed to be a he's supposed to be really good, I think. Let me actually look him up. Par Lindholm hasn't been drafted. He plays in Sweden. He's supposed to be pretty good. He plays the wing. But yeah, so the men's Olympic hockey is going to be a slaughterhouse for Russia. Whoever comes their path, get ready to get scored on a million times because you're facing Ilya Kovalchuk and Pavel Datsyuk. So get ready to get dangled anywhere you go, and get ready to just get sniped on by Ilya Kovalchuk. Quick update on the Pens game. Good back and forth. Defense activating on both sides. Penn still had the lead. Matt Murray stood on his head for about a minute or two, and most recently. And then back to women's hockey. So this is what I'm really, really excited about because there are a lot of good women players that are going to be showcased. Canada obviously won the Olympics last Winter Olympics. And they're led by, they're good, but not great. That's the thing. They don't have, a Amanda Kessel playing. Let's be real. They don't have an elite player playing. They won last year off of teamwork and goaltending. I think this time it's going to be harder for them to win like that. Some of their former players have moved on, and they got I think they have a bit of a younger generation team playing. Russia is not going to have a very competitive roster, I don't think. The United States, however, they got Megan Duggan playing. She plays for the Boston Pride. She plays in the WHL, which is absolutely amazing. The United States actually has a women's hockey league, which is great. I'm all hands for it. But, the United States has really, really good players all around. They got Megan Duggan. They got Amanda Kessel. They got Hillary Knight. They got... I think Sydney Morin is also supposed to be pretty good. She plays for Moto Hockey out in Sweden. She was named, Sweden's Defensive Player of the Year. She plays defense, so she's supposed to be pretty good. In net, they have in net all three of their goalies. Actually, no. Alex Rigsby. I was thinking she's gonna be the starter. She plays for the Minnesota Whitecaps. She's gonna be the starter, I believe. And so the United States women's team is gonna be honestly the team to beat. And I don't think there is a team to beat them, which is pretty cool, because the United States is going to be celebrating their gold medal in women's hockey, not men's hockey. And I find that hilariously ironic, because whenever anyone thinks Olympic hockey, they immediately think TJ Oshie, they think Patty Kane, they think men's hockey. Well, this year, this Winter Olympics, that's turning around. You better be thinking Amanda Kessel and Hillary Knight, because that's the dynamic duo that's going to win it for the United States. So, yeah, you're hearing this first. The United States is winning gold medal in women's Olympic hockey, and Russia is winning gold medal in men's Olympic hockey, unless Sweden can just pull something out. But I do not think the United States... I don't think the United States will make the medal round, and I don't think Canada will make it to the gold medal match. I think Canada is going to have to play for bronze. And that being said, back to the Penguins game. It's still 1-0, 7:40 left in the first. Pens right now working it down low. I believe the Kessel line is out. You just try to center it. Looks like Washington is a bit disorganized. They had a good rush, but it was kind of a solo rush. They're not really working well together right now. I think they need a intermission break to kind of help them out here. Once they get that, it's going to be much. I think they're going to be much more in sync because defensively they're really weak, and the Pens are really taking advantage of that with their speed, but is laying the body on them. I think that's one thing also. The Penguins are being pretty physical in this game. They're beating up Tom Wilson. They're beating up the Pens defense. They had that Reeves line out there now at least twice, and the Pens just gave up a breakaway to Nick Backstrom, and Matt Murray just made the save. And I think that's Justin Schultz just saved an empty net goal from Lars Eller. So, Justin Schultz, speaking of him, Justin Schultz has been having a quietly good year. Quietly good. He's not having his insanely crazy year like he had last year when they didn't have Chris Letang in the playoffs. But he's been having a quietly good year. I just want to check up on his stats. So this season, 35 games played, 2 goals, 12 assists, 14 points. He's a +/-4, only 10 penalty minutes. He's had only 58 shots this whole season. Wow. But let's just compare in 2016-17 to now to 2017-18 so far. 2016-17 he had 12 goals and 39 assists, 51 points. He was a 50-point player before his highest point total was his second year in the NHL with 33, and that was with Edmonton. He was a -22 that year. The year when he scored 51 last season, +27. That's crazy. He had 20 power play points, 3 power play goals, 1 game winning goal. He had 34 penalty minutes. It's pretty good for a defenseman. I think on average, defensemen that activate a lot tend to take a lot of tripping, slashing, hooking penalties. Schultz hasn't. And Schultz has been playing pretty good. So just a little bit of history on Justin Schultz. Drafted by the Anaheim Ducks in the second round, but he'd already committed to Wisconsin. So once he made his mark with Wisconsin, he won the WCHA All-Rookie honor as a freshman. So after that, announcing he was turning pro, but he couldn't come to contract with the Ducks, so he became a free agent. Then he signed with the Edmonton Oilers. He wasn't good with the Edmonton Oilers, even though he had won the AHL's top defenseman, the Eddie Shore Award. Got traded to the actually, he was also named the NHL Rookie Team in his first year with Edmonton. Then he got traded to the Pens in Pittsburgh, and then he's won 2 Stanley Cups. In 2 years, not even 2 full years with the Pens, he's won 2 Stanley Cups. So Justin Schultz has improved greatly. He went from, when you heard anyone, and if you said the name Justin Schultz in Edmonton, people would just glare at you and start hating you. If you say Justin Schultz is a good defenseman in Edmonton, they would hate you. And now, if you say Justin Schultz is a good defenseman, people will be like, yeah, that's right. He's a well-balanced. He's worked on his skating. He's pretty quick. He's got good sight. Yeah, he's a good defenseman. And he's averaging at least 23, 24 shifts per game. That's 19, 18, 19, sometimes bump that up to 20-ish shifts per time on ice. Yeah, Justin Schultz is a good defenseman. He plays the minutes. He plays the minutes and he earns them. He earned those minutes. But I think that's gonna be all for today. If you're following me on social media, feel free to tweet at me at _svish. And if you're looking for something a bit more formalized on the goalie analysis I actually did, you can actually find it on my website. It's sasonkmrbutler.net. Feel free to take a look at it. I'll be publishing that a bit later on tonight. And yeah, so thank you all for watching. Hoping you guys are having a good day and everything. And I will see you on Monday.